All right, so you're in Dragonspur City, in the outskirts of Dragonspur City, in a place called Goldsbury, and you're on the road called the Walk, going towards town.
This is the city where Chris is supposed to be from, right?
Yep, he's from Dragonspur.
Just out of curiosity, which city are the Red Knights, or the Order of the Red Ruby Knights stationed out of?
Dragonspur City.
Really?
They have a big column here, but there's also Obsidian, Emerald, and Sapphire here.
So why are you asking about Ruby Knights? We haven't run into any of them, have we?
Well, I was going through the journal notes, and it mentioned that the Obsidian Knights were drinking with the rubies.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Before they blacked out, and their symbol is a ruby pendant.
Right, that's why.
So I'm putting two and two together, and I'm not liking what it smells. I'm not liking the smell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why the doppelganger had a convincing. He was
every time we've come across one of these bad guys, they've had a ruby pendant.
Right. That's why. Okay, that's good. That's a good catch.
I don't want to go out and flat out accuse anybody, but you know.
So we get an inspiration now, right?
Yep. Dragonspur City is one of the largest cities. It's got a population of 45,000 people. So.
Just kind of city Gabi would like.
You know it.
I'll just share this map again. Everybody has it. As you're walking up the Walk and you're crossing the crossroads at Goldsbury, ahead of you, about a quarter mile ahead, at the crossroads of the Walk and Eden Street, there is a center kind of like divider of the road, and in that center divider, it's like a piece of grass in the middle of the road, you see red knights and their horses here.
How many do we see?
It's only about 4 altogether, not too bad. And so here.
Do they appear to be blocking the road or just standing around?
They're standing and checking traffic going into town on the Walk.
Okay.
The city doesn't have battlements that goes all the way around. They do have armored gates, but this particular side does not have a wall, so it's open.
Hey Chris, this is your place, right? You're from here. Why don't you just do the normal greeting and head up there?
Yeah, sure.
Roll some history there, Drick.
History. Oh, great. This is gonna go good.
Honey, they don't all look like you, Chris.
No, they don't. Oh, it's not too bad. 12.
Normally you would see people on there, a knight of some order there, either Ruby, one of the orders of knights would be there, but it's rare to see 4 of them standing there. But it is common for knights to be in that area. It's where they check in as you're coming into town.
Okay.
And you pay your tax, your fee. So what do you guys look like? What are you wearing?
We're in full.
As far as I know, we're still in full gear.
Yeah.
You're flying.
I have my cloak billowing. I am proud. That little goblin is a Sapphire Knight, and he wants everyone to know it.
There you go.
And I'm playing a song about it.
Yeah.
We got theme music, baby. Theme music.
That's it. Do that again. There, Gabi.
And red, blues.
You're trying to get us killed, Eric.
The marching band here and just walk forward through the street as if and really don't pay any mind to the Ruby Knights.
So, as she's got her marimba, was right, marimba, running, and she's playing Hell's Bells as you're walking up the tree.
No. Even better. Bad company.
Bad company.
And Gabi's doing the can't touch this dance.
No, Gabi likes Judas Priest, Turbo Lover.
Okay.
Anything to cause anarchy.
Do you have? You guys are all on horses. There's no wagon with you.
Yes, just horses.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we had a wagon.
Hey,
I
it's not just horses. Let's not interfere with Gabi. It's not just horses. Gabi does not ride a horse.
Why don't we
That's
have
true.
Bobby, when your dog is the size of a horse, we call it a horse.
Pretty much. If you're riding a wolf that's the size of a small pony, it's not just a wolf. It's a horse.
Horse is a horse. A horse is a horse.
Majestical steed.
Okay, we are riding animals.
And they're not Gabi. And they're not. He's also an animal.
Well, we might can ride on Gabi.
He's strong enough. Okay. As you get up, you come close to the gate. Not really the gate, but to where the knights are. They stop, halt you, and they said, and they ask, they know who you are, but they still ask, like, as if they're following a script. So what's your business in Dragonspur City? And they don't really care what you answer, but they have to go through the motions and ask. So they're asking.
We are here on official business.
One of the knights that's in the back, there's four of them. One of the knights comes back, comes forward, and he has his little lockbox with a little slot in it, and he says, "For your donations to the city." He puts it in front of you, and he doesn't even look to see what you put in, if you put anything at all in it, but he takes it to each one of you.
I'll put 5 gold into it.
Same.
I'll put money.
How big's the hole? How big's the hole?
Not big enough for your hand.
That's good.
Yeah, Gabi, I don't think it would be right to cheat them.
So, but
I'm not cheating them. I'm helping the blue. I'm getting money for the Sapphire Knights. It's a whole different thing.
Mo, I'm still playing my music, so when they come up to me, I just take my hat and I point it towards them. Like,
they smile and keep walking. Like I said, they're not even paying attention to what you're putting in it. They're just going through the motions.
Do they look dazed or anything?
They're fine. They're just so used to having to do this particular job.
Oh, okay. It's one of those just muscle memory.
Yeah. And finally, one of them stops and looks up at you. Not the one with the chest, but the one of the other ones stops and looks up at you, and then kind of scratches his helmet. He doesn't scratch his head because he's got a helmet on, so he looks like a total fool because his helmet can't be itching. Reaches into his pocket, pulls out a scroll and looks it over and says, "Are you from the monastery?"
Which monastery?
are you from the
Yes,
monastery?
we're from the monastery. Yes, we're from the monastery, and I just shake my head.
He says, "I have a note here for the Sapphire Knights from the Stone Mountain Monastery. Is that you?"
Yes, that is us.
That would be us.
He shakes his head like, "I just asked a question. You could have just answered." All right, so you get a note, and this note is from High Potentate Birkin the White. In case you didn't know, your oath that you took as to be Sapphire Knights was written by High Potentate Birkington the White.
Oh, so we got orders from the head man.
Or woman.
Okay.
And they ask you to meet at the monastery, and not the chapter house here, which is the They want you to meet at the Temple of Heshtel, which is number 20 on your map.
Straight ahead.
And that's all he has for you.
I thank him for the delivery of the note and give him another 5 gold.
Oh, he takes the gold and looks at you and then walks over to the chest and puts it in the chest.
Okay.
They have the same vow of poverty that you guys do.
I kind of figured, but still, might as well pay him for his service.
Each one of them has a red gemstone around their neck, and it looks similar to the ones you're used to, but slightly different. These
It's like a
have
different hue, or
well, no, the hue's the same. These happen to have a gold not gold, but a silver symbol on them rather than just being a stone. And that symbol is to the god of Neltak.
What can I do? A religion check to see if I know what that.
Sure can. Yeah, I didn't think you did all that well on that history check.
I don't think.
Yeah. Neltak is the Lord of Law with the power of cognition.
Okay, we go to the Temple of Heshtel.
Okay, as you are walking down the street, you hear a town crier somewhere around Hill Street, between Hill and Smith Street, town crier. And the town crier is talking about an election tomorrow. Actually, it's all this week. Election all this week for the new head of the Craftsman Guild. That a new leader is going to be chosen for the Craftsman Guild, and all craftsmen and we seize you all, and knights and royal court members are allowed to vote. They talk about other things that's going on in the city. A couple riots that have broken out recently in Goblin Town, and to beware of the high crime rate in Goblin Town and keep your eyes peeled. It's kind of like the daily newspaper, but someone's rocking around yelling it out.
I toss him a gold.
Okay.
Just curious if he catches it.
If curious if he catches it, we'll find out. He does not. It drops and hits the ground. And then he scurries after it.
By the way, guys, you know a gold is a lot of money in this world. A gold is a lot. You drop 5 gold in the thing, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. A gold is pretty much equal to 2 months' salary for the average person.
Yeah.
So you just tip the guy, the newspaper man, for giving you a copy of the newspaper. You just tipped him like $6,000.
I have his wages for the next 20 years, so I'm good.
On the way, when you get past Smith Street and Temple Street, because they kind of come together there at the walk, just past that, number 25, is the Library of Deck. The Temple Library of Deck.
What do I know about this library?
Deck is the kind of like the patron saint, patron god of wizards and education and learning.
he's a magic god.
Yeah.
So as we're passing by this place, I let my group know that this is what that place is for, the patrons of magic and stuff.
Okay. And the next one you pass, the next temple you pass is 22, and that is the Temple of Cantor.
I know what that one is. That's the fighter god.
Yeah, it is.
And most of you will stop and you'll pay your little homage to it. You'll give the symbol for Cantor, because it's like even though you follow Heshtel, you understand Cantor is as the one who looks out after fighters.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
one of those. It's like Heshtel and then Cantor and then maybe like a few others.
Heshtel's lawful good and Cantor is chaotic good.
Yeah.
Just before you get to the Temple of Heshtel is on the corner of Overway and the Walk. Just before you get there, you notice the chapter house is there and the place where you can store your horses. Okay. So you go into the chapter house?
Yeah, should we put our horses up first and then go in? Because we were told to go directly to the.
Yeah, but it's like going to the church. There's not a whole lot of places to park a horse.
Yeah, let's go put our let's go park the horses and then we'll go in.
We just have to hand
animals
to the cowboy, and then we can walk around to the temple.
Yeah, there you go.
I take my pack off my horse and all that storage.
If you zoom in on 20, you can zoom really far in, and you can see that the horse stable is right south of the number 20.
Yeah.
Okay. So you store your horses, and they give you they check in with you basically. They let you know, you let them know that you're going to need a room, so they give you a room for them and make sure that you have a room for the night. You don't go up and see the room, but they let you know that there's rooms available for you for the night. And they give you the hours for the gate that it's open here on this side. And then they kind of, pull one of you aside, the one who looks the most officer of the officers, and says, they say that there's the other entrance is open 24 hours a day. And you kind of know where it's at. There's a round looking building that's behind this in the same block as the chapter house and the temple. There's a round building, and in there's a stairway that runs down into the catacombs below, which lets you into the chapter house.
I give the stable man a gold.
He walks over to the alms box and drops it in the alms box. Again.
Man, this economy here is going to be something else.
Right?
How much gold do you have, Drick?
If you only knew.
As you go from across the sally port between the chapter house and the temple, sally port is an entryway, a guarded entryway, side entrance. You're greeted by Sapphire Knights and a cleric, and they say, "Good, glad to see you've made it." And you notice that this is not the potentate. It's not your pope, in other words, but it is a high-level abbot. And the abbot introduces herself as Malakin Stone. I'm gonna write this in the notes for you. And it is a human. She is a human.
I give a slight bow to her.
She smiles and looks you all over. She says, so you're the help that you're the help that the monastery has sent down. Good. We need you to become less conspicuous and do a little thing for us. Let's go and talk about it in my office. And
either way, lady.
So you walk through, and it goes downstairs instead of up, which you would think, if this is someone important, it would go up, but it goes downstairs, and it kind of goes to the most creepiest part of the catacombs underneath the church you could get to. And you're kind of wondering, okay, how did you rank so high on the list to talk to someone who lives in a rat hole? But as she opens the door, it is a beautiful office, well laid out, rich woods. But then you realize it's probably the most secure office in the building, because you're 2 floors below street level. She talks to you for a little while, and she says, we're having a little problem, and one of the things we hope you will check into while you're here. I know you have some other stuff you need to look at over in the Goblin Town area, but we're running into a slight issue. There are 2 leading guilds within Dragonspur City, and Chris, you know most of this already, and you can even quote the names of the guilds and who's in charge of them, because like I said, you've lived here and they've been here a long time. They've opened up elections for positions, and that's never been done before. Usually just the high people of a guild represent, but now they're opening them up to everybody. And it's kind of worrying us because this will be we have 2 elections coming up, and this was the third election. We also had one that's just passed a little while ago. The Riverboat Captains Guild just had an election last week, and the longtime leader of that guild was voted out by a landslide. Not by a little bit, but 3,000 votes to none.
Do you suspect shenanigans in the voting process?
We believe we just need to make sure that guild is not nearly as important as these other 2. One of them shouldn't even have elections, so she's kind of confused about that. She says, but Sir Eric Roundolph of the Craftsman's Guild is coming up. Election's coming up this week, as well as, this is not in the public knowledge, so you probably won't hear about it from us, but she looks over at the goblin and kind of smiles and acts a little, tries to act a little dainty. But this person is also going for election. And when she says the name, Lashthor Longcloak, Gabi's back stiffens because he is the head of the Thieves Guild for Dragonspur City. Not only that, but the entire country. He is the head of that Thieves Guild. He should never be up for election.
I take it. I look down at Gabi, noticing his back step, and say, "I take it you know the man."
But everybody kind of knows of Longcloak, but it's more rumors and innuendo. And Gabi knows more than knows that the rumors are true. And most of what you know is actually pretty mild compared to what he's done.
Is Longcloak a local patron of Dragonspur?
Yes.
What do I know about him?
He's a cutthroat. He's a very charismatic cutthroat.
What about Sir Eric Rudolph?
This one, Chris would know right. It would hit him right off the top. He's the richest man in Dragonspur City.
So of course he would know him.
Of course.
He has the title of Sir, but he was born to a merchant and a noble, but became one of the richest men in the city, and he earned his title and his knighthood that way. He is a knight of the Ruby Knights, but all pretty much in show. He's not a knight, as in he's not going to go gallivanting around, but he is the richest man in the city and probably the 3rd richest man in the world that you know of.
So he bought his title.
He earned it through a lot of hard work.
Yeah, he worked hard for that title to be able to buy it. You gotta give him props for that.
Yeah, I'm sure it was hard lugging all that gold.
Yeah, but I mean, his family were just regular, ordinary merchants, so he came from nothing. And you also know that Chris, is that a lot of the actual royalty and nobility look down on him because he's not we call it new money, or he's not noble in birth.
Yeah, I was just about to say he's what they call the new money. He's not money from way back. He just got his.
Okay.
So what does she need us to do at this moment?
She says, I just need to have people check to make sure things are going. I need it to be on the, say, quiet side, and to ensure that the election isn't tainted. And as she says that, she whispers, she kind of motions back to the back door, and whoever's standing by the back door kind of understands that they mean for you to close it and lock it. As you do, she pulls a chest out, and inside it's a voting box, and she opens this voting box. She says, "This is the voting box from the last election for the River Captains Guild. She dumps the box out, and you notice that every single ballot in there looks identical. Different name on it and the right check marks, but everything is absolutely identical.
So, what do we know about the new head of the Riverboat Captains Guild?
He was pretty vocal. He is pretty. He's not. Let's say from around here, and she kind of rolls her eyes when she says that. Not around here, because she's speaking of someone from the other side of the river, towards. She says, I believe he might be from Hadmore or Goblin Town. And you know that from your understanding that Goblin Town and Hadmore are places where the new immigrants are from. These are all the people that are running against these guys are all new immigrants. She kind of looks at Gabi and she looks at Yeshua when she looks at them both, and like she doesn't want to say what she needs to say.
Okay, you can speak freely.
We won't take offense.
She says, they're not from the.
What you're saying is they're former residents of the Dark World.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. Former residents of the. And
what you're also saying is you're not sure if they're not really still residents of the Dark World.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, do we know that these residents been vetted? I mean, have they been cleared?
They're residents of our city, but they are dark folk, or half dark folk.
So you don't know where their true loyalty still lies.
Yes, but it would be when it would be improper. It's not like us. It would be improper for us to say we don't rule against we don't say anything against anyone because they're dark folk. Because a lot of our people are, but these are all new immigrants.
I know the Knights can vote in the election, correct?
Yes.
Did any of the Knights vote in the Steamboat Captain election?
I couldn't tell you that.
Did you vote?
Yes, personally, I did vote.
Did you vote for the guy that won?
No.
So how did they get, and I look at the box, does anyone check to make sure that the box doesn't have a hole in it or some magic thing where it changes all the ballots immediately?
It doesn't do that. It just, there are, the people we know voted, their votes are in here. There just happens to be a lot of votes that are just not, it seems that everybody in the city voted that day.
You had 100% turnout?
We had 100% turnout.
And the polling lines were full?
No. She pulls through the ballots, and she goes about halfway down the ballot. She pulls one out, and she puts it down in front of you, and she says, "This gentleman died the day before the election."
Really? Well, I know it's a common occurrence in this is out of character. I know it's a common occurrence for the dead to rise up and fight, but I didn't know they could vote too.
Oh, what about early voting?
Just that they died.
Go ahead, Chris.
I said they don't lose their rights just because they died.
A lot of people in the graveyard vote.
She says,
Maybe they had early voting.
she says, we have voting boxes that are located on the corners of the major streets, and people can go and drop off their ballot anytime they want. And we only have one ballot box, so in each place, and there are guards there, and there are guards from multiple of the orders. And those guards, so we know that there's not one knightly order that's causing an issue. But for some reason, the ballot box at Arch Street and Overway, this is it. She points to it. This is it. Was tampered with. But she says that's not just the only one. The ballot box on Overway and Obstern Street was also done that way. And the one that was on Green Street and Weir Inn Road was also done.
Is there a pattern to the boxes that have been tampered with? I mean, when do you guys realize the boxes have been tampered with? After the election or after all the voting's been counted?
She looks at you funny. She says, "This seal, when this was still is unbroken. So this box has not been tampered with. But for some reason, 100% of the population, to include people who have died in the last week, have all voted, but it is completely been not tampered with."
Somebody's got runners.
Well, you also said they all look the same, like
they're all like 50% of them look like they're filled out by the same person.
See,
So they have the same handwriting.
Yeah.
Are you sure that the boxes are not made to look like they've not been tampered with, like magic used or anything?
She says, as far as we could tell, and our people are pretty good, you know that. There has been no magic. There's no magic cast in the box.
Sounds like a job for Gabi and me to go undercover as ballot box holders.
Well, the tampering also seems to be on mainly one side of the river and not the other.
Yeah, where all the Dark World people are.
Dark folk.
Yeah, I was going to ask you to circle the boxes that had been tampered with or whatever.
I can do that. And she says there's only one other box that's for voting, and that's down in, I'm going to put an X on it and straight. The other one is here. That one doesn't appear to be tampered with. Like I said, we can't, and she's very careful with the wording she uses, like a political speaking. She says, well, the boxes are not tampered with, because if they were tampered with, there'd be an illegal election. And since our government requires elections to be perfect, they have not been tampered with. We just want to find a way to make sure that that we don't have any problems in the future. And if for some reason you were all to discover a problem, that you would handle it in a quickly, brutal, and decisive way.
So
you had me at brutal and decisive.
you're thinking that they're being stuffed.
You can tell she's biting her tongue, and she says, no, I'm saying we want to make sure that no problems happen in the future.
Okay.
Right. Wink, wink.
Okay.
And you kind of get from her wallowing around the subject that there's an election that's happened in the past that's very, very important to be legit. And if we question these elections, then that one will be thrown out too, and that one's important. Such as who is the current potentate was elected. You know, it was a private election. Rick knows that the city is ruled by Lord and Lady Lovelace, and their Lord Nagator Osborne is the one who rules it, and he's advised by 3 associates, the Court of the High Mage, who is going to be elected soon, Angleroid, the Western General Western Ack Elmore is also going to be reelected soon to the and Captain Brian Hightower. These 3 people, other than the Lord himself, are going to be reelected to sit on his court. And so they need to make sure that these other things, that like the testing proving grounds, are not going to mess up really big things in the future.
So did we have a full turnout for the previous election that we don't want to be questioned? No,
we didn't. The proper number of people that we would expect to vote voted. About 22% to 25% of the population.
Guys, we're on the map, are we right now?
20.
Oh, yeah, we're on 20.
The unusual votes are coming from the other side of town?
Most of them. There's one that's coming over, what is that?
The circles.
Okay, I see. And then, where's Goblin? Oh, Goblin Town's up there. So the one right there by Goblin Town?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, if the chief of the Thieves Guild is up on an election, something's terribly wrong. Terribly wrong.
Terribly wrong.
I hate to say this, but we may need to set up our group and investigate these 4 places individually.
No, can't split up the group. That's always bad.
Never split the party. Never split the party.
But the DM wants it.
I know some DMs that want our heads on a pike, but
are there any
I don't think most like
pubs
that.
near the intersection?
Number 15 is the Bloody Head Inn.
Okay. And we do have in with that, don't we? So you got me, and then you got someone who sings. So is Goblin Town just goblins, or is there other dark folk there?
A lot of dark folk. The seediest part of town is over by number 4. The Thieves Guild is at number 5. The Red Light District is number 8.
That's my kind of district.
Number 9 is the Hold of the Black Blade Orcs. And 16 is the Hold of the Wolf Goblins.
Wolf goblins? Is that
Goblins
your
by
So the
wolves.
city people are all in the north.
Mhm.
I have a question. The rich guy that's running, what's he running for, and what's the Thieves Guild guy running for?
There normally would go, like the Thieves Guild, the top leaders of the top earners of the Thieves Guild would vote for a new leader. That's common. But some reason these votes have been opened up to the public, which should never have happened. Just like the court, the royal court, the rich guy is going for the Craftsman's Guild. Usually it would be the top 6 to 10 people of the Craftsman Guild. But for some reason, it's been open to the public.
Who changed the rules?
Kind of, it's just the way things have been shifting here lately. It's not we're so worried in the near past that of impropriety that that people were getting bought off, that they opened the elections to more people, and when they did, it kind of slippery slope and it ended up with everybody. But the most worried about is, even if these these guilds are important, but the other things that are coming up are life and death, and these are the major the small council for the entire city.
Who else is running for these boards against them? Like, do we have any information on them?
They're all legitimate candidates. They're from here. They've lived here, but they're all dark folk.
In every one of the elections?
Yes.
And the Steam
Yeah,
Master
that's throwing
Guild,
up red
the
flags
Steamboat
for me,
Guild
too.
guy was a dark folk too, correct?
Correct.
We've heard that they've been piling goblins in, which would make them. I mean, you let them cross the border, and they're all going to vote the same way. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, let's put it in perspective. Is since the war ended, the population of Dragonspur City has doubled, and it has doubled with refugees from the Dark Continent.
Dark people are not bad people.
So, yeah, look at me and got me. But here's the point. Not all of them are good either. And
That's also true.
we need to go.
Yeah, but all the other folk aren't good either.
Well, what I'm getting at is they're trying to retake the city, is what it looks like. We lost one war. Now they're going to go about it.
But this is still pretty much an active war zone. Anything to the east of the city is in an occupied land.
It looks like some undercover work needs to be going on, as well as, I don't know, we're going to figure out how we're going to send us undercover and still be protected by the group. I didn't figure that part out yet.
You know your way around the city now. You know roughly where the bad parts of town are.
My question to my lady is, who does she suspect the culprit might be?
She says There's just something working against normal here, and we don't know. She says, you understand, she's talking to you because you're from here. You understand, Dragonspur, that the river is the end of the civilized world. And anything north of the river, north and west of the river, the only reason it's not in enemy hands is there's a wall around it. If you step outside of the wall into Spurtich or Clarissa or out the Goblin Gate, you're in enemy territory.
My lady, is it okay if I lose my armor and my cloak while I go investigate?
She looks at you funny. Well, of course. She says, you guys know that the knights are not just flash and pomp and circumstance and flash and glittery blue, but the other side of the knights, you need to be able to do that part too.
Yeah, that's why they got us.
Time to get naked, guys. Let's strip.
Yes, let's get naked.
You first.
I start stripping.
Ripping off their clothes.
She says, if you need any help, feel free to ask. Come back and send
I turn around and say, can you help me with these straps?
She says, send word through the chapter house and one of us will be happy to see you. And there are some people you might want to, if you want to talk to, Yadis Argnog.
Y'all didn't stop Lyric from stripping, so they're still going. It takes a little bit because, arrows and hidden things and stuff.
And
No, Lyric. I was just kidding.
would like to
What? Sorry.
would like to be updated. The Yurgis, whatever, would like to be updated if you find anything shady, because that election for them is coming up soon, and they live at number 18 on the map.
I would gather from this that our main focus would be the Thieves Guild to be mainly investigated in this.
The next election, though, is before the Thieves Guild election. Then the one that's coming up, the next is the Merchant. And that is this week. Remember, that's what the town crier called out.
But that person, okay, so we need to investigate that person because that person might be involved with also the Thieves Guild.
What was the number for the mages again?
The mage's number, his house, the manor home, is on as number 18. The place where all the mages live is that out in Thorn Street. That's where, if you kind of think about it, is that the place you have to defend is the spur. So makes sense. She dismisses you and sends you back to your towards the chapter house. Shows you the way back to the chapter house.
Oh man, I'm naked. Are they gonna let me in?
It's the quick dash across the causeway.
I cover Lyric with my cloak.
And she's carrying her armor, Unless you left your high-tech glowing armor in the church.
Hex no.
Bards. Can't live with them, can't live without them.
No worries, Lyric. I got you covered.
Aw, I love that because it was a pun. That makes me so happy.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Literally, he's got her covered.
Yes.
So as you get back to the chapter house, they show you to your room in the chapter house, and inside it is a place. Each one of you have your own room, which is nice. And the officers' room are better than the NCO's rooms, of course. Inside the room is a place where you can put your armor up, but there's also clothing in there that is roughly your size. Not quite exactly your size, but roughly your size. And all manner of colors and...
I keep my armor on. I do not change clothes.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep my armor on because I'm a fighter, not a talker. So I'll let y'all talk, and if you need me to swing a blade, just point me at who you want me to swing.
Should I
Here-
stay?
I was thinking we need to be we need to look common to not really draw attention to ourselves. So common clothes would probably be best.
When we're out in public, I agree with that. But while I'm sleeping, I will keep my armor on.
Oh, you're sleeping in your armor. Oh, I understand.
Yes.
All right. So, where
Close.
are you going to investigate, and how are you dressed, and what are you doing to go investigate? What are you doing next? You know this election's coming up in the next couple days, and you know where the ballot boxes are.
Do you think we should go talk to the Merchants Guild and see, get the rough feeling of what they think's going on for, like, not on in the ballot boxes themselves, but in how they feel about the election and the future.
That might be a good idea because, merchants are all kinds of full of information. So that's not a bad idea.
The Merchants Way is number 13 on the map. And just about anything that you want to buy that can be bought legally can be found there. Now, you guys also have not been in a city, well, ever. Since you've been playing this game, so.
So we got.
What are you saying? I lived my whole life in this city.
I put
I'm
on
just saying-
clothes. Street clothes.
Street clothes.
Fine.
Okay.
Since this is Gobby City, he takes point.
It's not Gobby City. It is
It's
Drake
City.
And it's the Bard's City too.
Sorry, Drick, you take point then.
Are you
I
from
will
here
take
too?
point.
Wait a
Me?
minute.
No, I'm just gonna lay and slay and do all that stuff like Bards do.
Oh.
Bard stuff.
Do we have a plan?
We do
No.
not have a plan. We're working on that plan now.
Sorry.
We need to go to the Red Room.
It's a work in progress. We're just following Drick.
Yes, follow Drick. I know everything.
Lead the way, my good sir.
You know what we really need? We've just been on the road. We've just had so many fights. We had so much stuff going on all the time and things blowing up at us. We need beer.
Yes. we need
I
beer.
think you've had enough, Lyric.
Not any yet.
What do you mean? So you haven't had any for like at least 3 weeks.
It's a true story.
I have wine in my bag. I don't know about you guys.
We're talking about beer?
Let's just drink
That's on.
our fill and have a good time tonight, and we'll figure things out tomorrow.
I rolled high in that persuasion, didn't I?
It might be a way to get clues.
Exactly.
It's a good way for the game.
That's what I was thinking.
That's right.
Krellick,
Get the
third
locals'
and
opinion.
force that decision you have made.
What time of the day is it right now?
Does that mean Lyric's the leader?
It's probably early morning since slept and walked into town.
Yes, it's morning time. It's late morning.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
All right. So where are you going?
I thought we were going to someplace to try to listen for some rumors and stuff.
That would be number 15, the Bloody Head Inn,
Yes.
which is near an election box in Goblin Town.
Yeah, but that's all the way in Goblin Town.
I agree with Gabi and think that
All
we
right,
should
let's
talk
go
to
on.
the main merchant, the head merchant, the one that's running
Mhm.
for office or whatever. Talk to him and see what information he has gathered, because merchants know people, they hear things.
All right, where would his abode be?
Somewhere on Merchant's Way, which is number 13.
Oh, okay, I see it. All right. That's just right down the road from us. Not even a block, maybe a block. Well,
Okay.
I guess we're going there.
So how are you dressed?
Yes. We are nondescript at this point.
Everybody agree with that?
Affirmative.
Sure.
Are you wearing your armor underneath your clothing, or are you just wearing clothing?
Krelik's wearing his armor underneath. He don't go anywhere without his official clothes.
So you're wearing full plate mail underneath clothing.
Is that
No.
even possible?
No, we're not.
Yeah.
I didn't think
I
so.
was wondering if that was possible. Can we wear clothing over armor?
No.
No, but you could wear an armor and a cloak. Yes, but you'd have to have a different color cloak, which wouldn't be a problem. You could lower your armor down to a breastplate, and you could wear that underneath clothing. But in either case, yeah, you're either going to be with armor or without. More likely without. If you're going to do this.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right,
go without.
fine.
If we're going to go as a team and be a party that is doing something undercover, not as knights, then we're not wearing armor.
Okay, so you're going to go back to your old traveler's blue cloaks then? The ones that are slightly off color?
Yes.
Yeah,
and,
might as well.
We do have one chain shirt in the party stuff,
We should put that on you.
and one studded
Yes.
leather.
I agree. The healer needs some armor.
Yeah, you need to wear the chainmail at least.
And the bard can wear the studded leather.
Is a chain shirt able to be put on underneath clothes?
Yes. You can use it as part of your clothing, yes.
All right.
So for this next session, do we need to unequip our armors?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And unequip your shield.
Check that out.
Are we wearing the blue opal cloaks?
No. You're wearing your blue traveling cloak. So you go down towards Merchant Way, which is number 13 on the map. And it's a lively place. And things are, people are selling, they're hawking their wares. You see armors, you see weaponsmiths, you see people selling fabric, musical instruments, you see potions. Everything you could possibly want is available at number 13. Among the crowd is Randolph, Sir Eric Randolph. And he is shaking hands and kissing babies, and there is people walking behind him praising him on how good he's done for the Craftsman's Guild. He's being a politician, and this is kind of weird that this person should not have to be a politician, but he's being a politician.
I walk up and I shake his hand.
I said, "Hi, fine sir. I hope you're going to come and vote for me today, day after tomorrow for the elections for the head of the Craftsman's Guild."
It's very possible I might, but I whisper, like some information.
He pretty much doesn't pay attention to you, really. He just kind of keeps being a good politician. There's a crowd around him. So there's not even a chance for him to kind of say anything. He just continued to walk and talk and shake hands. But you could tell this is something that he would not normally be comfortable with, but it's like he has to do this. But he's doing a very good job of it.
Is this Randolph? Is he a good guy?
Yes, he is.
Okay. And he is a merchant, so it makes sense that he's running to be in the Merchants Guild, right?
Correct.
Okay.
He is the incumbent Craftsman's Guild leader.
Okay. All right.
So he's just rerunning for his own position.
It is my thought that he has information that might be useful.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get that.
Okay. So as he's walking a little bit away from you and shaking hands, you notice one of his handlers, his guards, are following behind him. And you catch one of the guards' attention and say, and I would assume that you show him that you're a Sapphire Knight in some, secret way, and say, "I'd like to speak to him." Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, I kind of flashed my cloak that is the just random the mill cloak, but it's still of my symbol. I kind of nudge that towards them and say, "Hey."
So, like I said, the politician keeps moving, and the guard that you talk to, like I said, it's his own personal guard. It's the they call not the personal guard, but the city guard, the Spur Elites, they're called. Motions, and it kind of points you to someone else that's a little further back, and then you see someone with a almost like a book of paper and writing things down. That person you go to, and they say, if you want to speak to the Sir Eric, the best time would be sometime after the election, the people have gone home and he's not out campaigning, because he's really tight pressed to get this thing to make sure he doesn't lose, because the elections as of late have been not going the way everybody would expect them to go.
I talked to this person and I let him know I would like to have a private meeting with this person.
With Sir Eric? Sure.
As Drick's talking to the handler and saying he wants a meeting, I'm looking at the handler going, "You're the guy I want to talk to. I know he's the guy, but everyone knows his chief of staff knows what's really going on, and you're the man." The handlers know where all the dirty money comes from, knows where everything's coming from.
Okay.
And, has all the names and numbers.
Funneling it.
It's because they got their hands on it first.
Hey, and I'm not in anything. I'm not in anything that looks Sapphire Knight. I'm in my original purple armor. I have my original fine clothes. I do not appear as if I'm a Sapphire Knight. I'm unarmed, as you think. I come from Goblin Town, and a merchant there would like to speak a little bit to him. And I hand over a gold. That's a lot of money.
I follow his lead and also give a gold.
I look at the Dragonborn and go, he can go away. Them blue guys are just...
Oh.
And I look at the half orc standing behind me looking, are you in your armor? Bard, are you in your armor? Cleric, are you in yours?
No, we're all in common clothes.
Even
we're all in common.
Even the Dragonborn who's flashing his okay. I look at the half orc and I call over my muscle.
I'm in clothes, but I still have my raggedy cloak of
the original blue cloak you were given.
Yeah, I know.
That's what
I'm not wearing that. He flashed it so they know where he's from. I'm acting like I don't know you at all, and I'm calling over my muscle, the half orc, and I'm calling over my sweet talker, the bard. And, hey, these are the. She'll take care of you and take care of what you need. Just let her know what all the details are, and I go, hey, to Yeshua, clear a path. I need to get out of here, and I leave the bar.
Make a hole.
I step back and let him take the lead on that.
Okay.
I'm not in the lead. I left it up to the bard. I left it up to Lyric. She's supposed to be talking to the guy.
The handler says, we are going to an event at the Lotus Street Theater this evening. If you wish to speak to him, that we have a private box there.
Let's do it.
What's the cost for a meeting?
Oh, you've covered the cost of a meeting.
I thought so. How long till that meeting?
The Lotus, Drick would know that the Lotus Street Theater has shows every evening around 7:30 or 8 o'clock. But he also knows it's almost impossible to get in unless you have a ticket that you bought months ago.
Okay. If he tells us that,
Theater, right?
I tell Gabi this information.
I say, hey, let's go see if the chapter house can hook us up with tickets, and then if not, I want to I'd like to head to 15 to the bar near the Goblin place, and or if see what they got, and they may have someone who's selling tickets on the sly, and if not, we hit the Thieves Guild to get the tickets because we need to be there.
I asked Jace or Gabi, I said, why can't you just ask the guy who invited you for the tickets?
He's going to want to show that we have enough money to even have gotten in ahead of time. Because he doesn't want to deal with us without us having enough money. We have to be big enough donors for that to happen.
Money out, one of the two. He's right.
If we have the tickets, he already knows we have the money or the means to make stuff happen, and that's all he's going to care about. So I said,
agree with
check the chapter house.
And let's go to 15 and get the tickets there.
Well, 20's on the way. We can hit the chapter house and see if they have them. It's a long shot, and then we can head down to 15 because we're at like 13 right now.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work. I don't think the chapter house will have them, but sure.
Now,
better than have to pay for them ourselves.
Before that happens, you're in number 13, which is the place where you buy things. Is there anything you guys need to purchase while you're here?
Healing stuff.
Potions.
I would like some inconspicuous armor so that I don't feel so bad.
Okay. Inconspicuous, what kind of armor do you want?
I guess a simple something I can, wear under my clothes to feel more comfortable. I guess probably breastplate or something.
If we're using, like, say, you and Krillic as muscle for Drick and the muscle guys, as long as you could get something heavy, maybe from the chapter house before, if we think they have it, that's not blue. As long as it doesn't look, and you guys can be armed without having to cover up your thing and just look like you're someone's muscle.
Well, what I was actually more thinking of is, since everybody has their kind of like roles, I'm not much of a talker, but I am a hunter. Maybe I could like kind of hang back, just kind of keep an eye on things, make sure that doesn't go sideways. I was wanting something that, if we do get into a fight, I'm not without armor.
Right, the halfway house might have that for you. That's what we're saying.
Did we give the black armor to the chapter house? Which black armor? The original? Your original black armor turned into blue armor. And the black armor on the guys that you were attacking lately, they didn't die.
Oh, he's talking about the one from the sheriff's house.
That set you probably still have. Well, actually, I don't think so. I think it's still sitting in the sheriff's house. It doesn't matter. If you go back to the chapter house, they would have the same type of breastplates that they gave you when you first joined the order. The same dented, slightly worn, and blood stains still on the inside of them.
Yeah, that would work.
Can we have that under regular clothing?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It'll pass as just armored clothing, like it's not uncommon to find people in armor here. It's just, it wouldn't be the pristine, with the holy symbol of Heshtel kind of armor that you would normally wear.
Yeah.
So this is just...
Okay.
We are in a war zone. There'd be
we all
people
want
armed.
that.
Okay, so if anyone wants a breastplate, they can have a breastplate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, while we're in the Merchants Guild, would it be okay for me to stop by the local wine dealer?
Sure.
And do they have what's a good bottle of wine that is within our budget?
I don't know what your budget is. Tell me what your budget is.
190 silver, 3,700 copper. It's the party money I just spent.
Yeah, that's a different armor there, Cole. We're talking about way back, further back than that.
No, that's the black armor that was found in the false wall in the closet at the sheriff's house.
Okay. So yeah, you didn't take it. You just left it there. Gotcha. So you all have, there are breastplates available in your party inventory if you want them. You can snag one if you need it. And when it comes to bottles of wine, a good bottle of wine is going to set you back about 15 silver. But they also sell it in small kegs and small kegs as well.
Not good. I want elite, excellent.
Excellent.
Not good. I want it to, when I bring the bottle in, someone goes, "Oh."
A bottle of the good stuff's going to set you back a gold piece.
Okay.
And that's a lot of money.
I want to spend 5. I'll take it out of my personal. I'm buying a 5 gold piece bottle of wine.
Okay. The very, very good stuff, we'll call that.
I'm talking about when I walk in and we go to sit with this Lord. He goes, "Oh, they are connected."
He's not wanting top shelf. He's wanting above top shelf.
Like the last bottle of this vintage.
I can't find the studded armor. I was gonna.
I put breastplates in the party inventory.
Yeah, but Gabi took.
Gabi already put the studded leather on.
Okay, so in the party inventory, I will drop. Oh, actually, not going to put it in the party inventory. I'll drop it to you personally. Where are you, Gabi? There you are, Gabi. All right, so you have a bottle of the very good stuff. It's so good, there's still dust on the bottle, kind of stuff. So I need to know what your plan is. You're going from here to 20, and when you get to the guild house, you put new armor on. They do not have tickets, and they don't think that you can get them. The only place they think you could probably get them is from either a good forgery from the Thieves Guild or cut per someone on the way in.
I'm good with either.
I'm Colonel Plink on this stuff. I see nothing.
I really think we should just take out one of the singers and then be like, and then I'll let you guys in the back door.
But if we need to talk to the Thieves Guild anyway. They got a vote coming up too.
Wait.
Yes, I do.
Who's the officers here again?
We don't.
Not I, said Small Fry.
Shield.
I think it's Michael, James, and Lyric, right? No, Michael,
Lyric,
James, and
Chris.
Lyric's one of us.
Okay, so Chris means you. Chris, so you remember, that means you cannot lie.
Yes, I cannot lie. That's true.
You have a moral code that you can't, not only can't lie, you really can't do anything illegal. You have to let your other people do the illegal stuff.
Which is why I wanted to hang back. I cannot lie, so I'm just gonna hang back and watch from the shadows.
I'm chaotic.
When the poo hits the fan, that's when I'll jump in. But
Is the cleric allowed to lie?
She doesn't have that role either.
Yeah, because if it's for the best thing for God, then that would be what it was for, right?
Yep.
Kralik is just the muscle.
We have a intimidating guy that can lie, and then we have a charismatic lady thing that lies, but does it in a sweet way.
So the thing that the guy at the I'm gonna call porter at the chapter house tells you is the seats at the opera house. Is it called the opera house? It is opera house. Normally run a couple hundred gold pieces a piece, and you have to be on a very short list. They're booked almost a half a year out for a seat. So if you happen to find one illegally, let's say if you found someone selling one, it would be very, very expensive.
We should scope out the place, get a job,
So, if we only had one ticket, would he be able to bring in his bodyguard or his protector
Probably.
on that one ticket?
Probably. But now you kind of see that. Go ahead, Chris.
Go ahead. I was going to ask him, can we combine all our profits or all we have to get this ticket?
Even then, you'd have to find someone willing to sell it, and that you probably. I mean, if you were allowed to buy, if you were one of the people who are normally allowed to buy it, it would cost about 100 gold pieces. You're not one of the people that are normally allowed to buy it, so the cost is gonna be like someone scalping a ticket. And I don't know if you've ever dealt with that. It's not retail. You're paying a whole different
what I'm
price.
saying is, between all of us, we could probably afford it.
What if we help somebody that has a ticket and then be like, oh, we're so indebted to you. What can we do to thank you for saving us? And we'd be like, we'll just take those tickets. Thank you very much. And then we,
Why don't we ask the chapter purchases?
The chapter house has already said they don't have any.
But they might purchase one if we find one for sale.
All right.
Hey, wait a minute. What about the guy that's running that's really rich?
He's the one you're trying to go meet.
Okay.
You kind of understand. You get the feeling now. You understand why they chose that place. It's you have to be able to prove that you're even worthy of talking to them. That it's so hard to do.
So if the chapter house is trying to put us to work, I mean the monastery, we need to go talk to that woman and have her get us a ticket. If we need anything, she said to call.
She doesn't have the tickets. She has our armors and our weapons and things like that, but she doesn't have electoral tickets. She doesn't have that capability.
Right. No. She doesn't have that ability.
Chris, or Derek, she has money.
Well, she might have money, but I have the feeling that we are not going to be able to find tickets for sale. There's a waiting list for tickets.
But okay.
Right.
In this town, the only people you know that you possibly could talk to that would have tickets are the High Yadius Argalad, because you know where he lives, and he's coming up on an election, and it's soon, who's supposed to help you. And the other person would be the Pope himself, Burlican the White. And you don't even know if that man's in town. And it even scares you the thought of asking that is he in town.
So the Thieves Guild didn't work out, so we needed to go talk to Hallian.
You haven't talked to the Thieves Guild yet.
We haven't been there yet.
Oh. And who we
That's where we need to go.
But see, that's what I don't get is half of y'all already think we've already lost in finding the scout tickets when we haven't even gone to look for them yet. I don't get it.
The only place you've gone to go look for tickets is at the chapter house, and they can't help you.
Okay, so the chapter house can't help us. So our next destination is the Thieves Guild.
I would have said we need to go to 15, the bar, have a drink, find a thief or a cupbearer, keep a perception out, look, and then have him give us or her give us introductions. Because, every bar has someone that shouldn't be there.
So you guys head towards, you're going to the bar first, not the Thieves Guild.
Yes.
Okay. So as you're walking towards the bar, or trotting, you're probably walking, so you don't have to restable your horses. So as you're walking across the bar, you cross Keller's Bridge, which is a rather pretty sight. It is the only way to get from one side of the city to the other, by the way, other than by ferry, which that's when the people just changed hands, the new captain. And you turn up on Warren Road. As you get up there, and I'm going to say you look over the drop box in the center of the street of Green Street and Warren Road. Makes sense? Because you're that way anyway. So you're probably going to go up on Hook Street and over.
Yeah, we'll probably check it out.
Okay. I need some perception checks. If anyone wants to use any special kinds of perception, I need to know that.
Can I do investigation?
Yes, you can. Are you going for?
Oh, sorry.
You're going to walk up and investigate the box?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I need to know. The perception guys, Gabi, something seems odd about the box, as in its placement in the center of the street. Like it's you can't figure out why, but for some reason it shouldn't be faced the way it is, even though there's no reason why it shouldn't be faced. But just something about that strikes as odd. Investigation. Lyric, you walk up to the box. There's no guards around it yet because the election won't start until day after tomorrow. Krella, nature. You really don't have any clue.
Is there anybody that is paying special attention to Lyric while she's investigating?
No.
Do I think it'll slide or rotate?
The box? No. Lyric looks at the box and thinks she can't quite grab it either. There's just something that is not right. It's not even that it's, the box is perfect. It's bolted to the ground. It's exactly the way it should be. You can't explain it, but it's just not right.
Something feels off.
Not even off. It's just odd.
Can I detect magic?
You can. You cast Detect Magic, and you notice that the 4 bolts that are holding it to the ground have faint aura of they have been touched by magic recently, but they are not magic.
Can I know the school of the magic that has touched the bolts?
Illusion.
I will tell my friends that.
As soon as she tells me that, I reach down and just feel to see if there are really bolts there now. And I want to look around to see how, because I had the high perception. I want to see if they are newly placed bolts, if they've been there a while.
As you your perception is not going to help you, but you do an investigation because you're investigating now. Okay.
Lucky.
The bolts are...
Wait, lucky.
Okay.
Gotta find it again, sorry.
Good bro, why use lucky?
And I'll use lucky. Can I use lucky again?
Yep.
I'll
Lucky's
use lucky
around.
again. I have 3, so... Is anyone going to give me guidance on the next lucky?
I was going to say, yeah. I can guidance.
Is there any bardic inspiration on top of it?
Let's just stop it where you're at. Just
okay.
The bolts that are coming out of the ground are old. The nuts that are holding it down are new, but made to look old.
So like it's been moved, but illusions to make it look like it's always been there.
Correct.
Well, okay, and that's all I do is I looked at it, and I was down on my knees acting like I was tying up my sandal that had come loose, so I didn't want it to be obvious I was doing that, by the way. Mm-hmm. I should have said that before. And then I get up and I walk over and I just kind of whisper it to everyone.
As you do that,
I don't whisper it to everyone. I whisper it to Lyric, Yashua, and Claire. Because I know the other 2 are going to flip out. The other 3 will flip out if they find out something's being tampered with.
Okay. And so the box is square. So, I mean, and all of a sudden it hits you, and you kind of get it together after he's told you that the bolts are different, that the bolts have been changed, that the opening to the box is faced towards the prevailing wind. And you would think that's stupid because this is going to blow rain in the box. You would think that it's supposed to be, it would be faced south down Wern Road, which is the most popular road, but it's not. It's faced north towards the building directly across the street behind the bar, number 15. The box enter is faced this way, and you think it should have been faced this way because the prevailing wind would blow moisture, rain off of the house across the street and off the road right into the box. For some reason,
what
it's
is
facing
number 15?
It's faced towards number 15, but there is a house there in front of it. I can't erase for some reason. I don't know why, but I can't.
Well,
Let me unlock.
it doesn't matter what that house is. I'm asking, what is 15 that is pointed towards?
That's the bar.
Place?
That's the bar you guys were going to.
Okay.
Can I investigate the house? Sorry,
Sure.
didn't mean to.
No, go ahead.
It's an abandoned house.
Can we investigate it?
Sure. So
Yeah,
the house,
20.
the box is there. You look over at the other house. It is closed. It looks like no one's lived there in quite some time. But it does have windows that face the street, face Green Street, as well as the door. The door is locked. The windows are locked, closed and locked.
Do we notice if there's like any, like if the door, especially if it's an old broken down building that's been abandoned, you know, the door wouldn't have been messed with, but
It doesn't look like it's been tampered with.
no cracks or breaks anywhere?
Not that you can tell. Not with your current level of skill level, no. Anyone other want to try some kind of perception enhancing capability?
Would my detect magic still be going?
If you walk over towards the house, yes.
Yes.
You walk over towards the house and nothing is glowing. Nothing
Wait.
stands out.
How many doors are there?
There are two, one on each side.
So if I went to the back one, it'd be facing the bar where no one was looking?
No, there's two on the side of the street that you're at. You have not been around the side of the house yet.
I'm going to prance around the back of the house.
Okay. Are you going to do it stealthily?
I will follow Lyric and do it stealthily.
Nope, I'm going to prance.
So you're trying to sneak up behind her, and you totally blew it. You totally.
I grab Drake and make him skip with me.
So who's going to investigate the back of the house?
I'm going to investigate it.
Oh,
Nothing to see here. We're just prancing around, and as we do so,
you're prancing
investigate.
so well, you got distracted and can't find anything. Does anyone else want to go back and see if they can find a door on the back of the building?
Okay,
I'll go
but
take a look since I'm not part of the. I'm not officially part of the party. I'm kind of hanging back. I'll kind of just walk over there and see what I can find out.
Okay, do an investigation and roll better than a 3. Okay, there are doors on the back of the building. They're also closed and locked. The windows are boarded over. It is a unused house, and it looks like it has been unused for some time.
I walk around the side of the house. I look at the party, and I just kind of shake my head so that they know that I looked, but to anybody else around, it looked like I just come out from back there to take a leak or something.
Okay, so did you go? You went in on one side. Did you go out on the other side?
Yes.
As you came around the other side of the house, which is, I'm going to say that the side that's on towards the right on the map,
Okay.
you see a goblin standing in between those two buildings looking at the box. And as you crink to make a noise, all of a sudden, poof, he's gone. What spells do you have in your repertoire there, Michael?
The closest thing I have to a sensing spell would be Divine Sense.
Do you have any spell that would make you go poof?
No spells to go poof.
Other than there's no goblin there anymore, you have no idea why. There's no goblin.
Okay.
So what do you do there, Michael?
I walked across the street, and as I passed close to them to where they could see my face, even though I got a hood up, I mouthed the words "Goblin watching box," poofed, and continue walking. As if I'm not part of that group, I just kind of happen to pass them on the street.
I need a perception check from anyone who wants to see that.
Drake noticed it.
Perception.
There we go.
Lyric's still prancing in a circle.
She's too busy. I think she's a little chilly too.
24.
Drake, Krellick, and Globby all saw what he mouthed. Yeshua and Claire, when you saw him mouth it, you both looked up, and on top of the roof, on the peak, about 30 feet from where you assume Gardas saw him, there's a goblin standing on the roof. And as you see that, you see him make a symbol in the air, like this. And when he does, the square, it turns purple in the square, and he dives through it. About the same size as a window in the house below.
I quietly let everybody know what I just seen.
So, yes, well, you believe, I'm saying this quietly, that the goblin dove into the house behind us?
No, I didn't say that. I said the box was about the size of a window in the house.
I'm on the other side, so I don't hear any of this.
I walk over to the door and try to pick the lock.
Okay, slide of hand.
She's still prancing.
You dropped your lockpick.
Can I pick it up?
Gobby's gonna come over and say, "Move out of the way."
Okay, Gobby, you try. You pick up her lockpick and go to lock the door with it.
I motion. I make a hand signal that Krellick and Gardas can see to make a motion around the backside. Watch the back exit.
Okay.
So the door is locked. How thick is the door?
Pretty thick.
Okay. If I picked up Lyric, who's right next to me, and shoved her into the door real hard, do you think she could break it?
Sure.
You're wearing a breastplate, right? Are you wearing a breastplate?
Just hit it chest first.
I bumped Gobby on the head with my lute.
Make a strength check.
You don't know what I'm doing. All you know is I grabbed you by the back of your armor and I picked you up.
That's all breastplate.
I'm gonna try to slam your breastplate into the door and break it.
A 12 doesn't open the door.
Are you grabbing me by my breast? Kinky.
No, from your back. From your back.
Breastplate.
I'm on the other side of the street. I have no part of this. That's breaking and entering. That's illegal. I have no part of this.
The door is locked, and more than that, what you notice, Gobby, is it's actually nailed shut. So more than just locked, it's shut.
Okay. Well, then I wouldn't do
Watching
that.
this in all its glory.
I wouldn't have done that then. I have a crowbar. Do I think I can pop the door pop out the nails?
Yeah, you think you can.
Yeah, crowbar. And can I peel open and what would that be?
Strength check.
I look at Lyric and I said, "Give me a hand here."
Okay.
So she can do the help action
Okay.
if she wants.
Guidance.
Okay, I get advantage.
Guide
Is it a
advantage.
Is it a strength check?
It's a strength check.
Do I just sit here and look pretty?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that's a lucky. It's my last lucky. I'm gonna guidance that. My last guidance of the day.
Wait, can I bardic inspiration?
You got it.
Oh, dang.
You break open the door. You carefully and quietly remove all the nails from the door.
I just look at everybody and go, "Oh yeah."
Inside the door, inside the room, the particular room, it has got cobwebs and is dusty. But you can see near the front window, there's a spot where someone has been standing, and the dust is not so heavily on the floor there. Like they're looking out the cracks between the boards and the windows at the box.
But there's nobody in the room itself.
Nope, empty.
Can we investigate the rest of the house?
You can kind of tell this was a storefront at one time, so it's kind of like a multi-use building. It's a big open space, which would make sense. It's on Green Street, and it's on a very important corner.
By the bar. That's important.
Hey, Krillic wants to look and see if there's any basement ways to get to a basement or something.
There is no bottom floor.
Okay.
There's nothing under this.
There's a second floor.
There is a second floor.
I say, hey, Krillic, upstairs though. Do you want to go upstairs?
I go upstairs. I just walk straight up.
Okay. Upstairs, it's a big open loft. So there's a stairway going up on one side of the building and a stairway going down on the other side of the building.
What else do I see?
It's pretty much full of dust. It's empty. There doesn't look like there's been any life up here.
And there's
Come back down and said, and tell my party there's nothing up there.
Okay.
I have put myself like right here to where I can see the house, but yet I'm still somewhat hidden.
All right. So I see you're hidden there. That's fine. There's nothing upstairs. There's no. It doesn't look like there's any life up there. There's just dust, old papers, stuff like that. But it doesn't look like anyone's been up here. The only place in the entire building that looks like there's been any life or movement in the dust is near the window that's overlooking the box in the middle of the street. The one where the opening to the box is directly facing that window.
Okay, so Mage has been watching this window because he's just bouncing in and out of the thing, or someone with magic ability, and then you just saw him. He misty stepped out, up, and then he dimension door out. Correct?
That's what you gather. Yes. If anyone discussed this with Chris, who happens to have the most amount of magic abilities when it comes to those spells, at least you would know something about them.
you need to leave the vicinity, and then all of a sudden the house catches on fire.
No, I think that would draw too much attention.
We don't
Do
need to
you,
guard it
for
now.
this, for the dimension door, do you have to be looking at the spot where you're going to, or is it someplace you have to imagine in your mind?
Someplace you imagine in your mind.
So theoretically, and this is out of character, the goblin could be popping in and out of the box, switching the ballots, but leaving it unharmed.
As you start pondering this stuff out loud, you realize that the box is about 30 feet from the spot with no dust in the floor of the room.
Well, I'm out. Yeah.
How do that? He's outside between two houses.
Oh, yeah, Gardas couldn't have told us that, so we don't know that.
Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking this to myself. I'm outside.
He said
Gardas.
he's character as well.
And I wouldn't know about the dust on the inside.
Yeah, you needed to come tell us that.
So the dust on the inside, guys, is about 30 feet from the box in the center of the street.
And the box is big enough to hold a goblin.
Yes.
Okay, can I do an intelligence check just so I can, because I need to figure out if I think it was a Misty Step spell or some kind
Does
of
anyone here have the Misty Step spell?
No.
I have shield. But we do have some minor magic. That's why I was asking. Can I do an intelligence check with disadvantage?
I just need to know. Does anyone have that spell?
No.
Okay.
No, we
So
don't.
yes, you can do it. That sets my DC for the intelligence check.
Is it with disadvantage or with?
Just a straight roll.
Okay.
I also wanted to make the same check based on the location of all the other boxes if it is within the range of the step.
All right. So the intelligence check didn't pay off for you. You roughly understand. You don't understand how it works, but you know there's some kind of connection. You all get, whoever's inside the house knows there's some kind of connection between this dusty, without dust on the floor, and that box that's out there. And I'm probably going to leave that here for tonight. I need you guys to ponder this. And I'm going to say you're going to leave here and go to the bar. I will pick this up at the beginning of the bar. Okay?
Okay. That was our next
Like a plan.
destination, I think.
Okay. I'll have a map for the bar. So, all right. Good game, everybody.
Hey, Chris, you did good tonight. Good job.
Well, thank you.
And the puns were on fire.
All right, everybody. Now I'm going to close it up.
You did great.
Good night.
Good
See
night.
y'all.
Good night, everybody.